Hey friends, I recently read As Thick of Thieves by Kieron Holland. Now, this book was recommended to me. I was reading journals and book review places, and this was written to be a fun read. And I gotta be honest, it was a fun read. It was fun, and it was a medieval book. A little bit of fantasy, but not really too much. A little bit magic, but not too much, and I appreciated that. It was about a heist. It wasn't about a war. It was there was fighting in it, but it wasn't a warfare book. It was about a stealing, and a lot of thought. And characters trying to figure things out. I do recommend the book. Now, on the downside, you probably can't see it from the screen, but the way it's formatted. It seemed it was a little hard to read, and I think that the author's style, it's took more time than a normal book did. It seemed a little chunky, and when the characters spoke to each other, well, the author at times tried to put the dialect of what the old English would be, which is it's hard to read for a modern English speaker. So that was clunky. Now, part of the characterization was good. The main character, the characterization was good. And, the best friend of the main character, who I guess would be the secondary main character, their characterization was really good too. Good characterization of the bad guy. But the main character's wife, she was spoken about often, but she really didn't have that much in actual, you didn't really get to know her in the book. So that was disappointing. And also the love interest at the end of the book, you didn't really get a chance to know her. So I think the author would have done a better job had they at least taken some of the time from not the main character, but Cohen, who's the second main character, reduced his time and given it more time to Aurora and given more time to the main character's wife. But in the end, is the book realistic? Well, not really. I mean, the main character is kind of like Batman, and his ability to, some of the things, his feats that he does. But, besides that, I don't think it's meant to be, like real. It's meant to be fun. And it was a fun read. This won't be for everybody. I think John Grisham, he was my first book review. John Grisham, I think, has a wider base audience. Most of John Grisham's audience, I don't think will like this, but some of you will. If you like the book, James Patterson's book, The Jester, that's one of my, actually, that's probably in my top 20. I love the book, The Jester. If you like The Jester, then chances are you'll probably like this book. Now, I think The Jester was a better book. But, if you're wondering what to read, if you want to switch up your genre, then, go ahead, read this book. I'm not going to, on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave solely, a 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this a 5. Now, you might be thinking, well, why would I recommend a 5? Well, if the idea of a medieval heist, which there's not too many, to my knowledge, medieval heist books out there. The idea that is fun to you, and it doesn't, not dealing with armies and warfare, but it's more like the daily life of like a thief and the challenge of planning a stealing. That's another issue. Is I wish there was more planning. I wish that the author would have gone into the main characters trying to plan how they're going to do things. On several occasions, it seemed like you just went on for the ride and you weren't part of the strategy behind it. But anyway, maybe that's just my personal preference. Maybe some people would rather be surprised. But anyway, this book it's all right. Anyway, there are better books out there. If you want to know what those better books are, just ask me and I'll tell you. But of course, it's my opinion. It's an eye of the beholder type of thing. Some people love Hamlet. Some people like, love different books. I don't really care that much for Shakespeare, but of course, a lot of Shakespeare books were written to be plays, not actual books. So, anyway, guys, God bless you and take care.